welcome, welcome to another adventure into reality. Today is going to be an open call in line. Just to let everybody know, I've been talking for 5+ hours today. So I don't know what to talk about. I'm going to leave it all up to you. I was chit chatting with the chat room before the show started, and people like, let's talk about timelines, blah. Done that 100 shows. So I'm asking you all that are listening right now to delve deep into your bag of questions. Yes, I trimmed a beard. There was a situation where I went to go light a cigarette and I burnt off half of it. So it came off. Yes, shit happens when you were not paying attention to myself. Well, what was actually going on? So yes, went up in flame. I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm looking at it. I could trim it. No, I'd let it grow out for only for 6 months already. Source all about it. Bullshit. Done that already. It was in 2014. Talked about that already. So I want people to reach into their bag of questions that isn't for me repeat questions that I don't answer in 10,000 different interviews 10,000 different times. I want you to go to your edge of unknowingness and then jump into the deep end and go beyond that and get into the next deep end pool and then beyond that. Exactly. An I Love Lucy moment. Lucy, you have splaining to do, so I want you to go 7 generations into your future. Okay? So the way this works, if you are listening on Facebook and you're going, well, how do I call in? You have to be in the Zoom room. And I know all of you lazy Facebookers, I can't type in zoom.us and hit the meeting ID number and the passcode. That's too much for me to do because I can't copy paste it. And right now, somebody's into Facebook going, how do I get into the Zoom room? You go to zoom.us, you type in this meeting number, 911-001-1974, and the passcode is 457-500. And then poof, you're in the room. And then all you have to do is figure out how to raise your hand. That means you click on the participants button and you click raise your hand. Now, if you are on some odd device like a standard pad that has Linux on it, you might have a little problem on it. Okay. So this has been simplified for those people that have normal devices. Now, if you're on one of those super weirdo kids devices that has a Zoom enabled to it, you should be able to automatically come in and go and raise your hand. Now, since we have people that our hands are raised, and I'm a picky Galactic historian today, so do not take anything personal if I'm snippy or snappy or because I've done this already. I've done this thing where I've been talking for 5 hours straight. By the time I'm done, I will have talked for 7 hours straight. So really reach in deep there and surprise me. You can ask me personal questions. I don't have any problem answering personal questions. People are like, well, do you sew? No. But yes, that's a sewing machine in the background, and that's a magnet. And those are tomato boxes that I use to move stuff around in because I've been moving a lot of stuff lately. People always want to know what backgrounds I have. Yes, I've got my cup of coffee right here. Okay. So, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of special callers and see who wants to have a good conversation with me and not a boring ass one.
I need a special calling sound effect.
Yes, like a dog whistle.
Well, I think Rainbow, you're going to get selected.
Rainbow, are you there?
Holy crap, yes.
Oh my God, you make it. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ontario, Canada.
Ontario, Canada. Welcome to the show. You get the full radio voice.
Oh, wow. I have a good microphone.
Wonderful. So what do you want to talk about today?
This has been stewing in my mind for a long time, and I hope I don't bore the shit out of you. I want to ask about my relationship with my husband and why he seems like 6 different people in one dude. And sometimes I get the super loving, wonderful, magical, genius person, and other times I get like this angry, fucking volatile, not like abusive, just like antagonistic. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So is there a separate personality for the sexual you and him?
Sometimes it feels kind of angry in the bedroom, just like frustrated, you know? Is that what you mean?
No, does he like have a different personality in the bed, meaning he's extremely loving but has aggressive sexual processes, or unaggressive? I mean, is there the same type of schism you see in the normal day?
Yeah. Like if, a position isn't working, you get a little impatient kind of thing.
Okay. Is that you being impatient, or is that him being impatient?
Oh, him.
Okay, so immediately it's him. So tell me
Yeah.
more about him, not necessarily in the bedroom situation, but
Right.
kind of what switches the personalities.
It feels like I've got to walk on my tippy toes. Like it seems random, like things that trigger it, like anything that
Mhm.
I guess would he feels insults his intelligence or his capabilities, or just, and other times it's just out of nowhere. I'm like, well, what the
Mhm.
hell? Who is this person? Where did he come
Give
from?
me give me an example.
Um, what the hell? Today we were we're looking something up on YouTube, and I suggested a different search idea to find whatever it is we're looking for. It just sort of snaps like, I know what to look for. Like I know how to do this. Like I'm good at it. Just like triggered this insecure response sort of thing. And
Hmm.
to be honest, lately it's been so much better. But it used to be really shit, and I don't know what changed. Maybe I stopped. I don't know. I guess I respond sort of with an equal intensity and almost anger of like, why are you being this way to me? And I feel like I made it. I don't know. It used to really zap my energy when he'd get like that, and I'd feel like I was almost being attacked
Hmm.
energetically, and then I
What
sort of responded
nationality?
with more.
What
Sorry,
nationality is he?
American.
Does he have Italian? Is he have
Not that I
what's?
know of.
He's just he can't be just an American. There's usually other stuff involved in it.
He's from
What are his relatives? They German? They French? They
probably
Canadian?
German. Yeah, not Canadian. No,
Okay, so you don't even know.
no, I do. I'm just. It's he's from somewhere kind of exotic, and I'm just trying to stay more anonymous. That's all.
It's okay. Where is it?
Belize.
Okay, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So you have a hot-blooded Latino.
No, he's just a white guy. Well, his parents moved to America from the U.S. and he was just born there because they went there, settled,
That's
and
still
had him.
ancestral. Where you were born is still an ancestral energy to it.
I guess
So
so.
the hot-blooded, white Latino. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And somebody in the chat room says Latinos need to be slapped. No, they need to have the chancla thrown at them.
Chancla.
Okay,
What's a
that's the shoe.
chancla?
That's the shoe. The slipper. That's what rules all the flying slipper is what rules all Latino homes.
Right.
Okay. So maybe you need to pull out the throw the slipper at them.
I'll get a flip flop.
Exactly. That's what it is. Okay. And there's a video out there of this lady chasing her daughter. And the daughter runs down the road. And this woman throws this chancla, and it's at least a 60-yard throw and hits the girl right on the head. Okay. That's how accurate these women have come with them.
Right.
Okay. So at some point you have to realize there's an aspect of the way he was brought up that creates the snappy person in him.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the ancestral energy. Have you seen him do this to other people, friends and family members?
Maybe just one other person, but really, it just seems like it's only when for me.
Okay. So is that his authentic him?
Maybe I don't know. It's so night and day. Like this, the sweet cuddliness, and then the like
Uh-huh.
antagonistic, argumentative
Uh-huh.
thing.
Is he defending his position usually? Stubbornly
Yes,
defending it, even if he's
I
wrong?
guess. Yes, but
So
sometimes it seems like it's out of nowhere, like unprovoked. I'm like, why? Why are we fighting? I'm like
in
chill.
his mind, everything is provoked.
Right.
So you're dealing with a person that without trying to give a labeled disorder to it,
Mm-hmm.
they're a passive aggressive.
Right.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what does that mean? They're going to be passively aggressive until something triggers them to be aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what are the triggers? Anything that challenges his stubbornness, arrogance, and ego.
Right.
So that means there's a budding narcissist there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
Does that make narcissists bad? Not all narcissists are evil.
yeah,
They're just about themselves.
it's true, because there is a loving person there that
Okay.
I have a lot of fun with, and then other times it's like, holy fuck.
Okay. As you said, it's been getting better too. What's made it better? What's
I think I
going on
said-
in his world that he's not passive aggressive with you anymore?
I think I started standing up for myself a little more, just like
Okay.
matching that intensity.
You
which
had
is
your own
kind of-
chancla. You had a chancla.
I had a chancla.
You had the metaphorical chancla. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just need another metaphorical chancla. And if it's going good, let it go good.
Mhm.
Your big thing is, why am I with this multiple personality? He's not multiple personality.
Right.
Let me tell you something. There are some hot-blooded Latinos that are exactly the same. Okay?
It just clashes with my
cannot-
Canadian.
Yeah, it clashes with your the Canadian in
Right.
you. Okay? So you have to just realize I would definitely say that's how he was raised by his mother and father.
You think it's a
They
cultural thing?
snapped the shit out of him, and he
Right.
just learned to snap back.
Mm-hmm.
Even Patrice in the chat room saying, yes, the Latino madness. Okay. Is it an ancestral energy? Absolutely it is.
From the land he
Okay.
was born on, kind of thing.
From the land he was born on, yes.
Neat.
That means he's going to carry that as part of his upright personality moving forward.
Right.
Upright meaning he's no longer a fetus and a baby. He's walking fully. He's not a toddler anymore.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then is there a part of him that's like super serious about certain subject matters, and none of those subject matters can be made light or fun of?
Yeah. for
Like
sure.
what? Like what?
Like his childhood, like anything that challenges his intelligence or what he knows to be true.
Okay. So that's arrogance, ego, and vanity. Okay.
Right.
So what have you learned about arrogance, ego, and vanity?
That it can rule you in shitty ways.
As well as it could be externalized and focused on other people.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to be the target of the arrogance, vanity, or ego.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. You could be blinking the wrong way and challenges his vanity. Okay?
Which is how it feels sometimes.
Which is why you need a chancla.
Right.
Okay? You need a position of energetic power that he has to feel that makes that arrogance, ego, and vanity retract, going, hey,
Yeah.
you need that pheromone that you exude without becoming angry. You need to find the hot-blooded Canadian in you that's not going to be going, hey, don't do that to me, hey.
I
Okay?
hear you, because there was a moment where I just sort of brought it, which is unusual for me, but I was like, you know what?
You did a whole South Park, served him up.
I didn't. Yeah, exactly. I didn't stand down, kind of thing. And usually I do. Usually I just like, I can't with this anymore, and I just leave the room. And it's like, just sort of standing my ground, kind of thing, which seemed to, tame it.
You just have to know what are arguments that are unwinnable, and what are arguments that you got to stand your ground, even if they are unwinnable.
Right.
Okay. And understand a lot of the culture that he's got. When you snap at someone, that's a form of taking power, but it's also the pecking order. Okay. So you have to figure out how to get gangsta on him. Okay. Prank.
Right.
Have you ever pranked him? You ever do the
probably.
shaving? How would he react if you did the classic, put the shaving cream on his hand when he's asleep trick, and then tickle his face with the feathers so he slaps his own face with the shaving cream?
If it was actual shaving cream, he'd probably be pretty pissed. But if I use like whipped cream or something, he'd probably
okay, use
more
whipped
chill
cream
about it.
Okay.
It really depends on how he's feeling. If he's already sort of agitated, he'd probably be really pretty mad. And if he's in a playful mood, he'd think it was hilarious.
Okay, then. You know him well. Okay. Next time he falls asleep on the couch.
Done.
Okay, done. Okay, yeah. That's even Patricia saying, get that chancla vibration in. Okay, exactly. Get it. And even tell him chancla power, bitch.
Oh wow, look at that.
Yes, you put it on his
Yeah, I think-
glasses.
It's definitely not something I was brought up with. So it's a new idea with the chancla.
You could get a whole PhD, YouTube PhD in chancla power. Okay,
To do some
And I'd
research.
do some research on the chancla.
I
Yes.
will.
Now, when you're standing up to a person, again, you got to know what you're battling: arrogance, ego, and vanity. And usually they fall apart unless you're hitting at a core subject matter, like if his intelligence is insulted.
Right.
Okay, there are times that you just want to hit the dumbness inside them hard, right? Like a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
That's not going to do you good.
No.
So choose your battles wisely.
For sure.
Okay, choose them wisely and choose ones you know that you have the chance of winning.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's definitely been those times where I know that I'm not going to win this one because he has more stamina in that way than I do.
No, you just choose to be meek and I don't want to fight.
Maybe.
There's a big difference because there's a certain voice level that he reaches at that you're afraid all the neighbors are going to hear him yelling.
He's more afraid of that. He's
Okay.
afraid the neighbors will hear if I yell. I was like, I'm not yelling.
But who is yelling? Okay.
Well,
I grew up in a family where we had the Greek opera. Parents were yelling at each other morning, noon, and night. It didn't help that one was half deaf. Okay. Okay. And the opera, it would reach its peak and we'd be like, stop yelling. We're not yelling. We're talking loudly. Okay.
He has a quiet yell. It's quiet, but it's very intense, if that makes any sense.
Because he's using his energy on you. Okay. And what does that quiet, intense energy do to your vibration?
It scares it.
Does it scare it or does it send it out of its center?
I don't know.
And puts you out of your body?
Probably.
Okay. You got to learn to stand up to that energy and have a growl back. That's where you reach down to your foot and pull the slipper off.
Right.
That's the metaphor. Because that's the metaphor. You got to be willing to raise your energy and yet have your silent growl or your version of that back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
As you said, it's getting better.
It is.
Okay. Don't goad it back into the old way either. Okay. And then understand, if you prank him, he's going to prank you back.
This is true.
Okay. The
The
fair warning, if you prank him, he will prank you back. But if you want to make it different, do you ever watch TikTok?
A little bit, yeah.
So there are some TikTok challenges that people do where they take the water bottle and put it on a basketball and see if you can catch it again. Most people get hit in the nuts by it, all sorts of strange things. And start some of those TikTok challenges with him.
Yeah.
Okay, just to break the seriousness. He's one of those people, the serious stick is so far up his ass it comes out his mouth.
That's a perfect explanation.
Okay, so just new ways to break the seriousness. You never know, you might get $1 billion video out of it.
That's true.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, darling. Thanks a lot for calling in. You were not boring.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who's next.
All righty. Darren getting a signal to mute.
Darren, are you there?
I am. Hello, Andrew.
Hi. Where are you calling from?
In the UK, in Brighton.
Brighton from the UK. So what did you think of our last caller?
I thought she was brave. I liked her telling her story. I thought she was brave. I think, I think she needs to be very strong with him. Yeah.
So how brave are you?
Well, I don't know. Well, I want to tell you something very personal. I'm coming out the back of like I had a long running addiction-ish kind of issue, nothing super serious. My life is very together. And I actually feel like kind of yeah, I feel together. I feel like I'm on a spiritual journey, and I feel like everything is, makes sense. And then every now and then I get this enormous kind of pullback, like down into some kind of hole. And I'm like, wow, I'm trying to figure out if this is something that is I don't know, is it something I still need to learn, or am I like deluding myself about where
So
I think I'm at?
what kind of drugs and partying did you do? That's the first question.
What do you mean in
Previous. You said you had an addiction going on, right?
Yeah, not loads actually. It was
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was loads or not. What was the style you did?
Oh, it was kind of involved with like a sexual, like drugs used for sexual exploration.
So was there a lot of MDMA?
No.
What was the drug for your choice that made that journey?
Oh, I was smoking crystal meth for a small while, and like in a gay scene.
All right, so that's actually what this fallback energy is. You're still in withdrawal from the crystal meth. Okay.
But okay.
And then there's the sexual energy that's amplified by the crystal meth. And then there's the dopamine that comes from the crystal meth on top of the sex, and then missing it energy. Because what the crystal meth has done, it rewired your sexual experience to a dopamine released, which was then tied in with the crystal meth. Okay. So you are missing the crystal meth sexual sex scene high.
Yeah.
Which then puts you into a state of cyclical depression.
Okay.
It's very common. It's very, very common. And with MDMA, which is Molly, it gets even worse. You can go through extended periods of depression.
Yeah. What's interesting though is that I feel like it feels there was a small period of time when I couldn't get out of a very small circle with it. And then it just disappeared. Like the last time was like 6 months ago. Completely, it felt like it disappeared. I feel amazing. And then it was just like instantaneously pulled me back into a space for a very small moment, actually. And I managed to catch it. And I almost feel like I'm now observing the whole thing. I'm observing.
You are
rather than being so deeply in it.
There are some things you don't realize what crystal meth does to you. It puts you into a parallel world simultaneously. And after you do too much crystal meth, you can't tell the difference between what the parallel world and this world is. Because you go for so long without sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's the euphoric high that comes with it too. Okay. And when you stack euphoric highs with other sexual experiences, it rewires yourself about what an experience is. Yeah. And you were catching yourself almost wanting to enter that that parallel time frequency.
Yes.
Okay. And that's the other part of the spiritual high with methamphetamine. It makes you think you're this multifunctional, multi-spiritual being, when in fact you're rewiring yourself to not actually be that at all.
Yeah, and what about the kind of the unwiring of this, Well,
you've got to get back to natural sexuality. That's the first thing. Okay?
Yeah.
So, however your sexuality goes, you got to figure out how to normal date, how to have normal sex, how to have passionate energy and not the aggressive party frequency that comes with methamphetamine. Sure. Which is an unbridled energy inside you of, I'm free. And because you're in the gay scene, I'm free with flame everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay? But you can do that without the drugs.
Sure.
Okay? So what's it going to take for you to be a flaming free man?
I don't know. That's a question.
Then that's the journey to work on.
I think what it is the fact that it was when you, because of like, it's something I moved past now. When I was younger, the feeling of not being able to, as a teenager, not being able to explore sexuality in a kind of more traditional way as you could, just going out and about. Like most of my friends were not gay, for example. So it took so it felt like it was opening.
Have you only had gay sexual experiences, or have you been with a woman?
No, only one woman when I was like a teenager.
What happened?
I didn't really like it.
Okay, as you would, silent and meek like a little 2-year-old. Come on. What was wrong with it?
Nothing. It had no real interest in it.
Then why did you do it?
Oh, because I was like 17 and I was at a party with all of my friends.
Were you gay then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100% actually. A couple of people knew, but like it was just before I told everyone that was.
Okay. So why did you do it then?
Don't know. I guess like a.
Let me help you do a process here. I
Uh-huh.
want you to visualize that young person that is you that
Yeah.
has just finished the sexual experience with a woman.
Yeah.
Visualize him in front of you and
Okay.
say to him, I am your future self. What proof do you need that I am your future self?
Hold on. I'm asking him what proof
Yes.
he needs.
What proof he needs.
I don't know. I'm not sure I understand.
This is a visualization process where you're creating an energy where you're going backwards in time and connecting to somebody who you already know, which is you.
Sure.
Okay. And you're asking them, what proof do you need that I'm your future self?
Okay. I guess I would need. He would know things about me. I mean, he would know something about me.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Upload what you know about him. Give it a full data upload to him.
Okay.
How does he respond to it?
Well, I think he believes it. It feels like he believes it. That makes sense.
Okay. Then ask him, why did you have sex with this woman if you already knew you were gay?
Okay. Because there was fear at this time of not doing it, like in terms of what people around me would have thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did people around you think about it after it happened?
Well, I guess the boys that I was hanging around with felt like that was a normal thing to do. So like it kind of diverted them from a kind of channel of inquiry.
The year you'd be more productive.
We've got somebody. There we go. Robert took care of that. Keep going.
Yeah, like it diverted them from a channel of inquiry towards me.
Okay. So it stopped a negative inquiry. So that's the real reason why you did it. To protect the gay you who was about to evolve. Okay. Now ask him the next question. Would you have sex with a woman again? That young boy right after that experience.
No, he would know.
Why?
Because truthfully, it was not an enjoyable experience for me. It was something I wouldn't have done. And I knew I didn't really want to do.
Did it dirty you? Ask him, not you.
Okay. Maybe a little.
Okay.
Because he feels like it was not the right thing to have done with another person, you know, without really being there. To know you're not there but to physically be there doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good because she was a woman?
No, because I knew that I didn't want to do this with her, and that's a very intimate, personal thing to choose to do with someone, and that feels like a kind of betrayal.
And yet you turned out to be a little bit of a party animal in the future. Okay. So there's some contradicting energies going on there. Okay. What I think you should do is regularly go back to that experience and ask yourself from that future state of being a variety of questions about your own sexuality. Because from there, it's what solidified you as accepting yourself gay and then roughly coming out with it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a big part of the future you. So there's a lot of wisdom that's held in that shortly after that moment. And that'll be some inner work that will help you at the next level of accepting your sexuality, because you want a different form of intimacy. And like we said, we had the conversation before, like you partied it up a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. But that was a contradicting energy to the initial you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And therefore, that's what's creating the schism inside of you. Okay. Why? Unfortunately, you know, the party sex scene, whether it's heterosexual or gay, has these extremes to it, which can be very alluring and tempting, and you can learn a lot from them. but they can also remind you, hey, this was solely impersonal and it didn't have the snuggle energy that I wanted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that the future partners you're going to look for have to be able to complete your snuggle circuit. Okay.
Yeah.
Or any other energy that defines it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the snuggle energy is just important as the penetration.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're beginning to evolve your sexuality, you have to literally evolve the process of sexuality for yourself.
Yes.
And know that that snuggle circuit or spoon circuit or whatever it is you want to call has to be completed before the penetration starts. There has to be that loving frequency.
Yeah.
Okay. And that can make the actual sexual process even more intense. And that's what you're yearning for inside.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And just admit, I don't want just random sex anymore. I need somebody that helps complete who I am.
Yeah.
I want somebody that's truly going to love me back. And that's why that young boy who had sex with a woman solidified that he wanted to be with a man, because that's what's going to complete you. Okay.
Sure.
That young boy in you's got a lot of wisdom to transfer to you if you begin asking him the right questions.
It's funny you say that because I've been directed towards this before about, I mean, whether you call it inner child work or whether, and for some reason I never do it. It's really interesting. Of all the things I've read, many things, I never go back there. Don't know, and I've said I can feel a resistance to it. So it's interesting you say that.
And wherever's a resistance should mean you have to put effort towards it. Yeah.
I normally jump towards spiritual things. Someone suggests something new. As soon as it's inner child work, I'm like, I'll skip over that. So
yeah, and it's easy to avoid it. It's easy to avoid it.
Yeah.
So did you have anything else you wanted to ask me?
No, that's it really. That's it.
So find somebody to help complete the snuggle circuit.
Yeah.
Or before you get passionate with a person, you out front say, these are my boundaries. If you don't complete my snuggle circuit, you don't get no nookie. Okay? And you're gay, you can say that shit. A man can't say that to a woman. Okay? All right? It's okay for you to be a little snappy. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
Thank you
Thanks
very
a lot
much
for calling in and opening up. You're a good teacher to a lot of people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who's next.
Okay, Krista Massey, signal to unmute.
Krista Massey, are you there?
I am here. How are you?
Hi, great. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Napa.
Napa Valley. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So what did you think of our last two callers?
I always enjoy hearing the past callers because I feel like I pick up something, more than one thing that I can always take away from it. As far as the first caller, dealing with a spouse who, pushes out that heavy energy, and where exactly you can put yourself to work with and around that to function, as comfortably as possible. So yeah, I definitely enjoy listening to every caller on every show that I get a chance to hear. I just need to start carrying a notepad with me so I can take notes. Yeah. So my question is,
sure.
What's that?
Go ahead with your question.
I developed a birthmark, I'd say around 10 or 11. And I believe I had a fever, a high fever, not anything past 103, 104, but high, high twos or 102s. But it's on my chest and it's on, the left side, and it's in the shape of a heart. And it's like, I wouldn't say rosacea, but kind of like little prickly red spots. I guess it could look kind of like a rash, but it's gotten darker as I've aged. And I'm just wondering if the shape of it being a heart near my chest has,
The shape is irrelevant. At what age did this happen?
I believe I was about 10.
And you had about 102 fever.
Yeah, 102, 103.
Did you get taken to the doctor to give medicine?
No, that wasn't common. That wasn't really, it was kind of like tough it out as long as you can.
What year would that have been?
Oh, 80. Oh no, 90, 1990. Maybe 90,
All right. So
91.
Birthmarks come from birth. Okay. And so you didn't have that mark before birth, correct?
No, no. Yeah, I guess that would just be a type of descriptive.
So
Or
I'm willing to bet your fever spiked to 104 or 105, and the skin began to react to it, and then you began a hallucination process and traveled to many different realities, and your angelic being came and put a stamp on you and put you back in your body, and it would call it a near-death experience stamp.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Yep.
All right. Well, that makes sense that, it wouldn't be something that came, from the birth, the birth effect.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. That was pretty much it.
Do you have any memories from back at that time that are odd memories? Odd, weirdo things happening in your reality?
No, that's a very, very foggy time.
Let's try to clear the fog away for a minute. So where were you living then?
I was split between my mother and father's. Are you talking as far as location or?
Yeah, location.
Oh, in the Bay Area, town-wise, Vallejo, California, and Sassoon City, California.
So Vallejo and Sassoon. So the Vallejo's deserty.
We're right on the bay. We're right on the bay, so we're
I know.
kind of.
I used to live in that area. I used to live in San Jose, so I'm quite familiar with that
Okay.
area.
Okay. Right.
Let's try to determine how bad the breakup affect you. So when you lived in there, would live with your father, what was it like living with him?
So, both parents split when I was 3. Both parents joined with new spouses almost immediately. I was off and on. Dad's house, I really was bonded with Dad. Stepmom was, your storybook stepmom. So that was rough, and I didn't see them as often. I was only with them on the weekends.
So who were you with when you had that fever?
That would be mom. Yeah, mom and stepdad.
Now, just to let you know, in the 1990s, it was absolutely every parent was told if you have a kid that has 102 plus fever, you immediately take them to the hospital, to the emergency room, or your HMO's version of emergency room. Okay, so that was
Right.
very common. Just it wasn't done in your family. Okay, so I'm gonna stick with you had a uniquely mystical experience from the fever, and because of the split, you wanted to go somewhere else.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense because I didn't really feel.
Didn't fit in.
Yeah, and I didn't feel any kind of support.
Uh-huh. Now the thing is, you came back with a birthmark and an angelic stamp. Now
Okay.
you perceive it as a heart. I perceive it as something different. You came back with a more solidified plan of the adult you. What career path did you choose?
I've been working in special ed for the past 17 years.
So you're a service-oriented person.
Yes.
That means whatever negative frequencies were brought into you by the breakup, you came back as a person that was going to have an open enough heart to work with special ed children.
Okay.
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 So you had your plan was solidified in the hallucinatic traveling dreams, and you were shown many of the children that you were going to work on, which made it easy to put you back in your body. And that stamp on you is what attracts those children to you.
Wow. Okay. Okay. That's funny you say that, because I remember that was the same age when mom and stepdad took on real full-time jobs, and I was left taking care of little brother and sister. So I kind of started taking on this service role, of course, which I hated at the time, but no, I feel completely drawn. I haven't gone to school for any of it at all. I've gone, by just through natural ability, like you were saying. And I just started taking a math class to get my prerequisites started so that I can further my education. But
what do you want to do with your future?
oof. I definitely want to be in healing. I feel like I have some kind of sound healing capabilities.
Are you
So
married?
I'd like to be.
Are you married?
Yes,
Children?
2, boy
How
and a
old?
girl.
How old?
19, 14.
Okay. So one still in the house that's going to require a significant parenting.
So say that one more time.
One still in the house that requires significant parenting.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So my first piece of advice for you is, before you jump in waist deep or neck deep into the healing journey, there are some healing things you have to do for yourself. If you have any money saved up at all, I will highly advise you put down for 7 to 10 hours of cranial sacral therapy. Okay. Have you heard me talk about this before?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Cranial sacral therapy.
Thank you.
Have you heard me talk about that before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's something that I talk about on a bunch of shows. It's a specific style of very light touch massage that releases electrical frequency stuck inside the body. You have a whole bunch of stored electrical traumas inside you right now. A lot of that's from working with the children over the years, and there are certain stories of certain children that's deeply connected to you, and that's causing traumatic energy frequencies inside you. Okay, so you have to release, like, every year there's a sad story child case, isn't there?
Oh yeah, multiple. Yeah.
Okay, and multiples, and unfortunately they're starting to do some damage to you now. Okay.
Okay,
So
I feel that I'm starting to lose. I feel like I'm really starting to lose my. I mean, I still enjoy this, the fulfillment and seeing that light bulb, but it just doesn't feel like it did before.
Right, because you're storing some very dark light from these children,
Okay.
and you can't store it for them, and you can't give them your core energies anymore. Now, the next thing is 7 to 10 hours over a period of a few months. So if you can do 1 or 2 sessions a week for the next several weeks, you're going to feel like a completely different person.
You said
Now,
7 to 10 over the next few months?
Yeah, the next 6 to 10 weeks.
Got it.
Okay. So what's your diet like?
Oh, just average. I'm a poor eater.
Okay, and you've been a poor eater for a long time, haven't you?
Oh yeah, my whole life. That's never been something that I've tried to tackle.
Why?
I don't know.
I ask you these questions because I'm reading your energy, and right now you're storing dirty energy and you're storing dirty food, and you're not giving yourself love through food, meaning you've become a martyr to other people's causes. And your inner rebel was shot and assassinated inside you a long time ago, so you don't even have a rebel that can break away from your martyrdom. Okay? So you need to create a new relationship with food. Now, the next thing is, because you've had such a poor diet for a long time, your gut genome is completely off. 80% of your immune system is inside your intestinal tract. All of the dopamine that's in the body is stored in the intestinal tract. You are going to need to do a full-on shit up a thunderstorm colon cleanse.
Oh, wow.
Okay? And you're probably going to need to add some fasting to this too, while
Okay.
you're beginning to change your relationship with food. It'll be the biggest bang for your healing dollar going forward, along with the cranial sacral, about how well it will prepare you to become a healer. Because if you start a healing journey without clearing out the kid energy and not fixing your gut, healing's going to beat you up. And I mean, beat you up.
Right. I know that there's so many layers to my childhood that I don't even know where to start. So this is great.
Right. The cranial sacral will help peel back the layers of what's the children from work and what's you, the child inside you that's traumatized.
Yeah.
Now, colonics aren't cheap. Okay. They're
I
generally
have
90.
heard you refer to doing what was it called? The Kalima?
Kalima board. Yes. You can go to a website, californiakalimaboard.com, and get the entire kit, board and everything for $150. And it comes with the DVD. And then you can go online and get a PhD in YouTube really fast. All it is learning how to self-insert and put your feet above the bowl. And the rest is, shitting up a thunderstorm. All right.
Oh,
And I'm serious. You're going to shit out something that feels like an octopus at one point. Okay, you're gonna feel tendrils like it's gonna try to climb back in.
oh God.
And then you're
Okay.
gonna have euphoric releases. So my first advice for you is to go do 1 or 2 colonics via a paid system, so you understand. And the colonics person can talk to you about if you start cramping, what that means. And the colonics person will give you a lot of information. So when you go to do it on your own, you got a little bit of firsthand wisdom there.
Got it.
Okay. And you're looking at about, like, if I were to send you a colonics person, I'd tell you to go and do 16 colonics in 8 weeks, 2 a week for 8 weeks. And that might get you to the black water. Black water is the all the mucus has been ejected from your system, and you're down to a point where you're going to do full probiotic restart. Okay, I'm willing to bet you have 20 pounds of petrified poop inside you right now.
Holy shit balls.
That's right. Holy shit. Or petrified shit. Now, this is very common. Very common. The average human being that doesn't eat well has between 15 and 25 pounds of petrified feces inside their gut.
Well, let's get the train rolling.
Okay. Now, the next thing is, how much water do you really drink?
As of late, within the last couple months, I have been really slacking on my water intake. And normally I drink, I would say, about 4 to 5, I'd say, water bottles. Is that not?
I don't believe you.
4 to really?
I think that's Fox News propaganda.
Really?
I think that's Fox News propaganda. I really do.
Well, okay, let me go through the day. Hold on.
And if you average it over every day in a month, I still think that's Fox News propaganda.
Yeah. Okay, you got me.
Okay. I think there are many days you have a half a bottle of water and then fudge the numbers. Okay?
Yeah, that sounds right.
You have to absolutely change your relationship with food and water. Now, if you have some money, you can go and get a brain fart, a Kagan water machine that does the alkalinity for you. Okay.
Spell it, please.
Kagan, K-A-G or K-A-G, Kagan water machine.
Okay.
Anyways, it basically what it does is it puts the water at Kagen. It basically puts the water at the right pH and alkalinity for you. And it plugs into your sink, and all your drinking water has to be alkaline aligned. Okay.
Okay.
Because you're highly acidic right now.
Okay. I just heard you actually talking about this to another caller from another show. So I'm this is great.
Wonderful. So shit up a thunderstorm, change your relationship with food. I highly recommend you find one of those food chefy people that can reinterest you in food. One of the ones that is out there is Anthony Bourdain, even though he's passed.
Yeah.
All of his old shows are really inspiring and literally change your relationship with food. Count
Thank
your
you.
protein, drink your water, and by the time you're done with your 16 colonics and you've realkalized your system and you've done the cranial, you're going to realize this the toxicity that you've been holding on to, and it'll make your healing journey that you're starting so much better.
Beautiful. Thank
You're
you so much, Andrew.
All right, take it easy. Have a good day. Good
Yeah,
talking
thank
to you.
you. You too.
All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Alrighty, Leanne's iPad signal to unmute.
Leanne's iPad, are you there?
Yes, awesome.
Yes.
Hi,
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Tennessee.
Tennessee. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So what
This
did you
is
want to
my
talk about?
First call in ever, so I'm super
Ring a
excited.
ding ding, first time caller.
I'd like to talk to you about I am not able to visualize.
Okay, so why do you have to visualize?
Well, because a lot of things that you do have that, and I'm doing Mystical Life Daily, and there's things on there that is used for visualization.
Mm-hmm. So have you ever just can you right now imagine an apple in your mind?
I can imagine it, but I don't see it.
Okay, why do you have to see it? Why are you creating a rule that you have to see, limiting your imagination?
Okay, because I thought that's what visualization was. You're walking down a path, or you're walking into a cave, or and I'm not seeing any of that.
Okay, just because you're not seeing any of it doesn't mean you're not imagining it.
That's true.
The journey to imagination is letting it flow, and vision is the last thing that comes to a person's journey. First thing to understand, your vision is the last thing that comes to your journey. Oftentimes your other senses will be feeding in all this other information where you might be able to smell the journey before you see the journey, or a combination of experiences that begin to validate the imagination as real.
Okay.
So stop over focusing on vision. So many people that begin this process over focus on vision and give up because they never see anything. Vision is the last gift.
Okay, so if I'm in a cave, then I just am using my senses.
Smell the cave. You have to allow your creativity to trigger the greater openness too. What does the cave smell like?
Okay.
Is it cool? Is it cool to the skin? Again, and you're adding more and more real factors to it by involving the other senses.
Okay.
See, when we demand vision right away, we forget that all five senses are part of that journey.
Okay.
It's like, would you watch a TV show on mute?
Would I, or have I?
Would you?
Would I? Sure.
So would you want your spiritual experiences to have only vision and no sight, no sound, no taste, no touch?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right.
Okay. So just relax yourself and allow your imagination to go through the creative journey of validating the experience by allowing all of the senses to be a part of it.
Okay. Super.
Well, you're going to find it becomes a lot easier, and then vision will come. And then you're like, oh, great, vision. Now what? Okay.
I know I can, feel energy, or, I can feel more, I can feel things. So, okay, awesome.
Amplify those feelings, allow them to have more definition. Okay, so when you're doing those guided meditations that are visualization process, such as the heart meditation, can you visualize or imagine your face over the surface of your heart and imprint that onto you? Okay, that's one of the things in the heart meditation, or see yourself in the fetus in your mother's womb in that infinite connection. And then to enforce that energy, so you begin to feel that womb state.
Okay, so when it's the fetus in the womb, so I'm like feeling the water in there, and I'm feeling,
Also
whatever.
the infinitely connected state. Okay.
Okay.
That's why I tell people to, in those visualizations, to go back when your father's sperm met your mother's egg and the first spark that you was created. That's where you want to start those visualization journeys and amplify those feelings, thoughts, emotions, and concepts that come out of that first separating of cells. So you can
Okay.
reconnect to the infinite source energy.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there
It's
anything else
been-
you wanted to ask?
I have a medical thing going on. Can I ask you about that?
Sure, go ahead.
In the beginning of December, I woke up just out of the blue and I felt like I was a super drunk person. And I thought I had vertigo, but I Googled vertigo and it wasn't vertigo. And so as the days went on, it got better and better and better. And now I'm just, my balance is off.
Have you gone to the doctor?
I went to the doctor and he wanted to do an MRI, and we're having issues with our insurance. So we're putting an appeal in to change our plan. So I've put that on hold until I hear from them. But I just went and got my teeth cleaned and found that I have an infection in my gums. And I wondered if that.
No, see, the thing is, a lot of times when you have vertigo, it could have been you had what's called a traumatic brain injury or a micro brain fart. Not a brain aneurysm. What is it? I'm having a total brain fart here. Stroke. Sorry, you could have had a micro stroke. And that's why he wants
Is
to
that
do the
the
MRI.
transischemic?
Yes.
Transischemic something.
Yes. Anyway, so that's why he wanted to do an MRI. Oftentimes they're paired with extended bouts of something that's drunkenness and vertigo.
Wow.
So you could have the doctor write a special letter saying why he wants to have it. They believe you could have had a mini stroke. That's what they're called. Yeah.
Wow. That's scary. That's alarming. So, wow. I'm in excellent health, so that's even more.
Doesn't matter. Most of the people in excellent health end up dying too, right?
Right.
They have all sorts of things go wrong with them. Okay. It could have just been a little piece of vein plaque that broke off and got lodged into a microcapillary and caused a micro trauma. That's usually how that happens.
Okay. So I've never had an MRI. They do it with contrast and without contrast, but the contrast is all that heavy metal. That's not a good thing to put in your body.
It's fine for what you need and with a purpose, because it's going to reveal if you've had a microstroke or not, or what else is going on.
Okay. So would that be what I need to worry about getting, if I have it with the contrast, getting that out of my body after they do it? Hello?
Hang on, Leon. I think we might have lost Andrew for a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is not in the room.
I think he went
Oh,
out for
he
cigarette.
is. And the microphone's open.
Maybe
Andrew, if
he,
you can hear us, we can't hear you. And he's out. He'll be back in a moment.
okay. Well, I'm glad it's on his end and not mine.
No, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Let's see. I'm going to put on a little music while we're waiting. Oh, wait, no, I can't do that. We'll get tagged. Darn censors.
What does that mean?
Oh, if we play anything that's copyrighted, then YouTube will mark our videos as copied with copyright strikes.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, they have good control of that stuff.
Huh.
Exactly, Monty. I love that. Da 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 da. Monty, you want to come on for a second? You're better at this than I am. I always hang in the background.
I'd like to share something with you since we have a few minutes. Is that okay?
Sure. Go ahead.
I'm new to this, and so I've been going on to YouTube and watching a lot of Andrew's shows and talks and topics and whatever. It's frustrating to me. Like, I wish there was a search within his YouTube area so that I could put in, DNA and it would, show.
That's
all
a
the-
perfect question. I'm glad you're asking it because we will. I'm organizing right now to get some volunteers together to go into all the YouTube videos in the channel and actually index them. And that what that means is that
Awesome.
you can go and put a search in, and that topic will come in as not only an index, but it becomes sort of like a keyword. And yeah, since I'm mentioning it, anyone who wants to help with that, I'll be sending some information out, or you're welcome to get back in touch with me directly at studio@galactichistorian.com and putting together a indexing keyword team that can actually do as many of the videos. Our focus is just to get as many as done as possible for that exact reason, that so we can get a much better search happening inside YouTube.
And there's
Awesome.
like eight years
And
worth of videos. So yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not this isn't a judgment or a criticism. It's just an observation of mine, being a new person. And, it's frustrating to have to, listen to, many to find, what I'm looking for. So, so that's awesome that you're doing that. That's super.
It
Yeah.
also makes sense where you got hundreds of hours of videos and
Right.
you come into it and it's like, I would like to look into colon cleansing. And 14 days later, found it.
Yes.
All right, I'm back.
Yes.
Sorry about that. I had a power failure.
Okay.
Hallelujah. We're just chatting away, talking about the indexing project I was telling you about, and Monty joined in,
Hello, Monty. How's it going?
and
I'm-
Leon's still in here.
I'm me. So-
Are you really you? Is it the really you?
well, the 17 of us agree with you. Yes.
So is it the real Monty has stepped up? It's
No,
not it's not the slim Monty.
No, he's trying to, but I was waiting for the end of the show to start talking about that. 'Cause, you do have a client now.
Well, darling, is there anything else that you wanted to ask?
If I do the MRI with the contrast, do I need to worry about getting rid of those heavy metals out of my body after?
You'll shit them all out within a few days.
Okay, awesome.
So don't worry about it.
Okay, awesome.
All right. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for what you do. You rock.
You are welcome. So, Senor Monty Dean, how's it going?
Interestingly, I read a horoscope saying that the next 6 weeks you'll be doing some internalization and finding your true self. I'm paraphrasing, and I'm like, okay. And I find like watching the show and having oh, hang on, now I have to show my lovely face. That was one thing. Like I when I look in the mirror, like and I hear, because I'm doing an audiobook, I'm hearing my own voice. I'm like and instead of like freaking out and being jealous of that, I just ignore that now. I'm just going to look outwards, and everyone has their own personal vision of me. So
Wonderful.
yeah,
All right, so Monty, I realize we still have 30 people with their hands raised. Let me go and do a couple more, and then I'll come back to you.
yes, of course.
Right.
Yeah, just hello, I'm alive, and enjoy your Andrewing.
All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Alrighty, Huawei telephone, signal to unmute.
Huawei telephone, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, Andrew.
Hi, where are you calling from?
It's Michelle from Kerry in Ireland.
Hello, Michelle from Carrion Island. How are you doing today?
I'm very good. Very good. We've spoken before. Oh, I'm so excited to get through. I just arrived back at home. I've been at my father's funeral. He passed away on Friday, on the 12th, and I was there in his arms, and I was able to give him craniosacral before he passed the night before. Opened up a proper ancestral spiritual cord of equity for him to welcome into his soul family. And I'm just really happy that I was able to have those tools to bring to that. And I'd like to thank you, because you've really helped me on that path and on that journey.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, I suppose I don't really know what to ask about that. Is there anything that you want to say?
You did what you needed to do out of love, and it was a great experience for you and him. And it's something that you're going to see as a spiritual victory for yourself. You're able to hold that space.
Totally, yes.
And
that's
now
what I feel.
And now that's an experience. You know, as you've passed somebody over as a Blue Road spirit, it'll make it easier for you to mourn his loss.
It's really made it easier for me compared to other members of the family, and it's just been a roller coaster for us all, but we were just held by so many. It was like a tribal community coming together. It was so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do for yourself in the next couple of weeks so that you can embrace the mourning energy?
Yeah, I want to get some healing done for me now. I really feel like I need to do that. That's why I came back here to the hills of Kerry. I have a few projects started that I need to finish, but they're all part of a healing journey too, because I'm in the middle of nearly completing an oracle deck that I've been making. Mm-hmm. Just being back here, and I have some really good friends. I know I'm going to be supported and held here.
Mm-hmm. So I got to be blunt. How does you and the Irish drinking energy work?
Yeah, I know. I do have to sort that one out too, because it's so part of the whole family issue. You know?
Maybe you need to have a traditional Irish party send-off energy for your father, and allow yourself with the family to get a little bit of that alcohol energy.
They did. We had a week of it. We waked him at the house, and yeah. Well, I've been home.
Maybe it's time for you to get a private bottle for yourself.
That's what I need to do. Yeah.
Okay, and pray the shit out of that bottle. Put a bunch of revocations, a bunch of prayer energy into it, so that you know that the preparation, you put a week of preparation into that bottle, and you say, it's not really about you getting drunk, as you absorb the energy and allowing yourself to just enter the next lane of the mourning process.
Okay. I'll do that. I'm brewing my own beer as well.
Good. How's it turning out?
Great. Yeah. Good success,
What kind of beer are you brewing?
I have cannabis beer. I have
wonderful
foraged. Yeah. and gorse, wild gorse, and forage sorrel in there with loads of herbs from my garden. And I've been brewing for the last couple of years. Spraying the land with it and just really using it as a healing tool and putting the revocations into it. And
maybe this is where you up yourself a level and tap into your Irish whiskey side and get a still.
I should get a still.
Okay. Brew some spirits. Okay. Tap into that side. You already know the beer brewing side. It's very similar in process. You're just learning a still process versus the cooking on your stove process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you could buy pre-made stills for like $150, or you can go to your local kitchen supply center and buy an old school pressure cooker and convert it for $20. There are plenty of videos out there that describe how to make a home still.
Yeah, like, I'll do that. I've been watching them. I've been watching them on YouTube. And I'm so glad that you tuned into Anthony Bourdain, because I've been watching him as well and just really getting into food again, because I was a chef for 30 years too.
I loved his books.
Yeah.
I've read every book he's ever put out. I loved it. That first video set of
I just bought Kitchen Confidential.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
Loved it. That was pure prose, that book.
Amazing. You grew up in the restaurant industry as well, so you just get every reference that he makes, like
absolutely
all the characters involved, and
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And all the diva energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
All the egos bouncing off one another, and
That's
it's like a domino effect. When one goes, they all go.
They all go, and then the trading of insults.
Yeah,
the trading of insults, which is a very good thing to have amongst a work team on the line, because a good insult really empowers somebody to come up with a better one. And like I've been on many lines where the insults are just so fucking funny that you're not even intending to harm the person.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well, I grew up with a family of 8 of us, and we all insult each other all the time. We're singing songs or insulting each other, so that's why we sing a lot.
That's your Irish birthright.
Yeah.
That's the Irish birthright.
And you get very fucking good at it. You get thick-skinned. You know how to bounce back. You don't take it to heart. You pinch of salt. Yeah.
Right. So what were some of the best insults your dad had for you?
Oh, for me, he said, you have a neck like a jockey's bollocks. He said, you have a neck like a jockey's bollocks. And years later, I had fucking whiplash and a really bad neck for a couple of years. And I used to say to him, look what you fucking did to me. Or I was really skinny, and he'd say, like, you'll run through the raindrops. Go on, run up there and get me a packet of cigarettes. You'll run through the raindrops. Or if you turn sideways, you were like a clean through for a rifle.
There you go.
That's what he used to call me.
What were some of the insults you had for him?
For him, I used to confront him a lot about, his drinking. Mm-hmm. And but he was able to insult himself, so it was easy to insult him back, He told the same story over and over again. He was a fisherman, and he was just put arms and legs on every story, and we heard them hundreds of times, Mm-hmm. And we just had to hear all these stories. But I mean, he's left a legacies of stories and song, and he was so quick-witted. Oh my God, that man could insult you with 2 words, Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I've inherited that from him, that kind of snappy intelligence.
Well, maybe it's time to start writing down some of those stories and quick-witted concepts, and
I will
incorporate them into the Higher You.
I will, because he's left so many stand-up comedy sections, like the day before he died, he called me into the bedroom and he said, "Who's running this show?" And I kind of thought for a minute, and I said, "You are, Dad." And he goes, "I'm running out of here. That's what I'm doing."
I'm running out of here. There you go.
I'm running out of here. That's what I'm doing. And he said, there are a bunch of lunatics in there. They're all a bunch of lunatics. Oh, bless him.
Mm-hmm.
he got very angry at the end, you know, like he had 2 weeks of attacking everybody in the house really violently. They had to hide everything from him. And then I arrived and they kind of changed his medication. So we had a week of peace, and he kind of he just kind of made peace with himself. He was calling angels around him all night. I could see spirits around him, and he was waving them, going, "This is my wife. This is my wife, Anne." It was so peaceful and beautiful to watch it, like, you know.
Beautiful.
But it's been hard on my brother because he's the main carer, and he kind of turned against my brother towards the end. But
That's ancestral karma, though.
yeah.
And you could help your brother out by explaining to him when people are going through that death process, they lose grip. And the person that's been the solid rock for them for so long becomes the target of it.
Yes.
And to not take it personally and to learn to forgive him.
Yeah, I will. I'll help him with that. Wow, this has been amazing, Andrew. I have.
Write down those fishing stories.
I will. I'll write down the fishing stories.
Write down the snappiest lines and talk to your brothers and sisters. What were the snappiest lines he ever did on the family? Yeah, get a big list of them. Get a big list of them. Yeah, start writing them down.
I will. I'll do that. Bless you. Bless you. We'll talk again.
Bless you too. Thank you for calling in.
Thanks a million.
All right, Don.
Bye.
Take it easy. All
Take
right,
it easy,
Robert.
bye.
Robert, let's spin up the wheel of colors and see who is next.
Okay, Ken Weber, are you there?
Ken Weber, are you there? Ken.
I'm here.
Hey, where are you calling from?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What do you want to talk? What do you want to talk about today?
I spoke to you a few years ago, and you were asking people, do they know what this is? And you had mentioned that there was a person that was strapped to a bed or tied to a bed. What happened to that person? Do you know? It was one of your friends.
You have to give me more background story.
That's
More of the background of what I was saying.
You had said that your friend, well, let's say you had a dream that was in color, and you dreamt that the person was strapped to a bed or tied to a bed, which meant that they were going to commit suicide.
Oh, that was about that was from your years earlier about a dream.
Right.
A friend of mine that had a suicide demon that he became best friends with.
Yeah. So what happened?
He tried to commit suicide several times and is in an institution now.
Oh,
and
really?
will probably be institutionalized the rest of his life.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, that's what happens when you make best friends with the demon.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not good. No.
Nope.
You got to expel them. You got to expel them.
Well, you have to take your power back.
Yeah.
Expelling them is one thing. You got to learn to take your power back and get your life back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's too bad. That's a shame. All right. For me, I'm just wondering, how am I doing with the DNA?
What about it?
How many strands we have put back together again?
You are a normal strand DNA person right now. Nothing special is going on in your DNA. What are you doing to activate it?
Oh, just at night before I go to bed, just ask to compile it and bring it back in again.
Okay, so that's what I call baby step intentions.
Okay.
You're not doing any adult intentions to actually begin to manifest that journey. What do you do as a daily practice? That's about self-healing, self-nurturing, and self-mastery.
I do self-Reiki.
Okay.
So I work on my body, just to say, okay, heal what you can.
Okay, so that's a very, again,
bring the love in,
That's still baby steps process. There's no spiritual strategy around the long-term journey. And this is something I've said in my shows for the longest time. When you begin to commit to a daily practice, there's a long-term strategy and agenda. So the practice has a mode of variety into it. It allows you to master many skills, so that when you work with variety instead of a single skill set, you're able at the end of the month or the end of the year realize that you're practicing many different energetic skills that help actually change your physical DNA. But DNA is still based off of the consciousness and the strategy that you are able to implement in your life. So DNA doesn't do anything until you have a long-term spiritual strategy about its change and enforcing the change within yourself.
Okay. What about working with quantum healing?
What about it? What does working with it mean, and how does it affect you?
I don't know anything about it. I know a friend that said that she went to a week's training on it.
Okay.
Starseed accelerator and stuff. I don't know much about it. I'm just asking a question.
Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of those starseed classes or starseed acceleration thing. I think that they're a bunch of light worker salad junk.
Okay.
Why? Because there's no real teachings inside them for people to identify with the human version, and everybody externalizes everything as a starseed.
Oh, okay.
Okay? You're a human before you're a starseed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that light worker word salad community takes over people's belief engines.
Right.
Okay? And if you're really going to do the work, it's about having many skill sets under your belt and using the variety of things that you've learned in all the different practices and making them part of your daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly practice, so that the strategy and agenda that you're creating for yourself is constantly raising your frequency and dealing with the traumas and dramas of a life term.
Uh-huh. Well, when I called up last time, you had said that there were soul shards that need to come back in when the time I was a giant.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe I had all those brought back already. There was 4.
Sure, but there are other soul shards, like from when you were 5 years old, 9 years old, when you lost your virginity. There's all sorts of soul shards for you to begin reincorporating back into yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Human beings have shards and parts and pieces littered all over the multiple timelines.
Yeah. How do you recommend to get them back? If I have
a serious daily practice that has a long-term strategy behind it, that doesn't reflect a mono practice or 1 or 2 styles of practice. Okay. Learn many forms of practice. So Monday you're doing meditation, Tuesday you're doing qigong, Wednesday you're doing this, Thursday you're doing that, Friday you're doing this. And make sure you put it on your schedule that did I actually complete it?
Right.
And then the amount of effort that you're putting in each day. 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week is C plus effort. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week is B plus effort. 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week is A plus effort. Okay. Effort ultimately determines what you're going to get out of it. And then you got to journal about the changes that you're going through. For anyone that's out there and think you can't journal your experience, you're still faking it to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be aggressive, and anybody that says I can do it without journaling, and I will have 1,500 arguments that show you if you're not journaling, you're not actually doing anything.
Right. Well, I used to do lots of meditations, half an hour, an hour.
Mm-hmm. Did you journal?
They were good, but no, I didn't journal them. No.
Why?
Just didn't think about it.
There was a reason why. There's still a self-defeating habit pattern behind people who want to go to the next level of personal effort when it comes to advancing one's spirit.
Oh.
Okay? You got to be able to always reach into the next level of energy within yourself. So enthusiastic effort comes a part of it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Anything else you wanted to ask?
Anything else that you see in the Akashic Records that I should be doing?
What's your diet like?
What's my diet?
Yeah.
Don't eat too much.
Why?
I have meat. I have bread. I have vegetables. Some sweets. Yeah, definitely have some of those too.
Okay,
and I probably shouldn't have much of those. Mostly tea.
Why are you not eating a lot then?
I just don't feel like eating much.
Mm-hmm. Do you know that's a self-defeating pattern? And if you're getting less than 40 grams of protein for longer than 30 days, you become anemic and you have no extra energy to have spiritual experiences. Let me tell you something. There are certain spiritual experiences you can blow through 2,000 calories and 150 grams of protein.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay? So you need to change your relationship with food.
Yeah.
Okay?
I usually have 2 meals a day.
Okay? That doesn't mean anything. You still are undernourished.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Okay?
Last 2 or 3 weeks have been not so good.
Okay? I look at when I'm looking at you, I'm looking at a year's worth of diet.
Oh,
And I see your energy, and I can actually see that you're averaging maybe 15 grams of actual protein in a day
yeah.
instead of 40. Okay?
Yep.
That means you're short 25 grams of protein every day. So that means you're right in and out of being at the anemic level.
That's not good. I gotta
Mm-hmm.
work on it.
You absolutely have to change your relationship with food.
Right.
And it will help deal with some of those weirdo emotional energies that come out of nowhere and the snappy energy that's inside you, because your body's going to high level adrenal gland when it gets no food because it's in survival mode.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Food does the body good.
Okay.
Got to nurture that body.
Right.
And then something else. Have you been able to do any ritual or ceremony any outdoor fires?
No,
Why not?
just haven't.
Okay. Is it because you're lazy?
No, not lazy.
Then what is the reason for you not doing a fire ceremony?
Oh, I haven't done them in a long time.
Mm-hmm. So you're either lazy or something else. Chicken shit?
No, just haven't done it.
I'm purposely trying to trigger you to get an answer.
No, I just haven't done it.
So that's not an answer. There is an answer of why you haven't done it.
Well, to do it in the backyard, I have a small backyard, and I have a fire pit, or whatever you want to call those things, and we could do it out there. But it's more like embarrassed to do it there.
What are you embarrassed about?
Well, because everybody's going to hear me.
So what? Talk at a normal voice.
Yeah.
So right now it's fear of persecution that's stopping you to do it. And that's the answer. You feel embarrassed because of your spirituality. You got to get over it. It doesn't matter what the fuck anyone else thinks at all. Okay?
Well, the man next door, he does spiritual work too.
Good. So you should be able to go outdoor, light your fire, and have a normal conversation with it. It's not like you need to be screaming and yelling at the fire.
Right.
Okay?
I can invite him over. We can do it together.
You should be doing it yourself, though.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of doing that spiritual work. And then after you get good at it, yes, you can invite others.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, we had.
So you're not lazy. You're not chicken shit. You're just fear of being embarrassed.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. That's worse than being lazy. And that's worse than being chicken shit. Okay? That means you won't stand up for your next level of personal conviction, knowing full well that those rituals and ceremonies will help complete an inner part of you and help reveal more about your journey.
Okay.
And there are alternatives to the fire ceremony. Indoor soups.
Yeah.
Steam on the pot. What's stopping you from doing that? I know you've heard me talk about that many times.
Yep.
Okay. There are many ways to skin the spiritual cat, but you're at a point where you got to get over the fear of persecution energy. You've got the fire pit. You got the wood. Just go do it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, brother. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Okay. Romina.
Little Romina, are you there?
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Vienna, Austria.
Vienna, Austria. Welcome to the show. What did you want to talk about today?
First of all, I'm really excited to be on. It's my first reading.
First reading ever?
Yes.
You've never visited anyone else, huh?
No.
Okay, so what did you want to talk about?
Actually, I wanted to ask about maybe my life purpose, if I'm doing the right thing.
Okay, tell me a little bit about yourself so I can tune in.
Sure. I'm working as a flight attendant, and I'm starting now doing psychotherapy. And yeah, I'm thinking about doing a massage class or doing maybe cranial sacral, but I'm not 100% sure if I should pursue it.
Okay. So the flight attendant job, how many days a week are you out of town?
We're only flying like short distances. For this reason, I'm always coming back to my base in Vienna.
Okay. So how many
Yeah,
hours?
and right
how
now
many-
we're not flying that much. It's like
so how
COVID
many?
with COVID.
Yeah. So what are your hours like?
It depends. It's always different. Beginning in the morning, or in the afternoon. It always changes.
So what is it? Do you do 16-hour days? What are your days like? 5 to 8-hour day? What are your hours like?
We work like 5 days working on standby, 3 days free, and then 5 days. And one day you work at, I don't know, 12 p.m. and then you come back to the same place at 10 p.m.
Okay, so you have the classic job where your time off is not truly your time off if you're on standby.
Yeah, no, though you have to be flexible, with a flight attendant job. Yeah.
So that means that your energy can be very scattered at time. Okay. And whenever you're flying place to place to place, it does take a toll on the human you. And then you get to see all the angry people and happy people and sad people and the dirty energy that's inside an airplane. Okay. So my first piece of advice for you, if you're going to end up doing a healing class such as cranial sacral, go and have somebody do it on you first. Have you had somebody do cranial sacral for you?
No, I haven't, but I'm planning to. Yeah.
Yeah, go and have somebody invest 5 or 6 hours into it. So usually a session's an hour. And so go and have 5 or 6 sessions so you could truly see what it does. You should also find somebody that's strictly a myofascial release person. And then so you understand the difference between the two. Okay.
What's the second one? Myofascial, because I tried to search for it, but I couldn't.
It's called myo, MAYO fascial, FASCIAL, myofascial release.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
And it's a completely different style of working with the fascia system, whereas cranial sacral works with the central nervous system and has some myofascial release techniques in it. But myofascial release goes way deeper into the rest of the entire fascia system. Okay. And I would tell you, once you've had an experience of a few hours of myofascial versus a few hours of cranial sacral, you'll figure out what you want to do. I believe you're going to be turned into a high quality healer, but you've got some journey into becoming the healer. You chose one of the classic jobs that's a challenge to get away because you make pretty good money, don't you?
Right now, not that much, but yes.
If there wasn't COVID, you would say, yes, I make good money for what I do.
Yeah, but I have to be thinking in the future, something that I can do that you get. I don't know. I think psychotherapy would be a good option, but
I think psychotherapy will be the worst choice you have ever tried to choose in your life. Okay, and I'll tell you why. There is a vulnerable, emotional you who will not be able to take the sad ass stories of some of these people who can't help themselves, and you will become a victim to their stories. How many of your boyfriends have been project boyfriends?
I don't know what a project boyfriend is.
Somebody you know is not right for you, but you're working on them to make them right. Fixer-uppers. Okay.
I haven't.
Okay, that many. Okay, you will not do well with psychotherapy. Okay. As a healer, you'll do well. Psychotherapy, no. It'll be even more dirty energy than flight attending. Okay. You can learn psychotherapy for yourself, and you can go and learn talk therapy. You can learn hypnotherapy, and you just don't have to deal with people's everyday emotional bullshit. Right? That's not something that's going to be you. You're going to discover you spend all this time and getting an education, and then once you start doing 60, 70, 80 clients a week, because that's the only way you can make money in psychotherapy. Can you imagine doing 80 a week? No, you can't. You can't even imagine doing 2 in a week. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for your.
Okay. Don't sell yourself short. If you're going to become a healer, become a healer.
Do
Psychotherapists are
you mean
healers.
healer as a Reiki? I always have like, what do you exactly do you mean healer? Masseur or massage therapist?
So massage is different than a healing energy. Cranial sacral therapy, myofascial release are far deeper into the healing journey than a standard masseuse. Now, masseuses that learn deep tissue massage become very advanced healers. And oftentimes you learn several different techniques. I know many people that have the massage degree, and then they take a deep tissue class, and then they take a cranial class, and they take a myofascial class, and then they end up having several different certifications, which makes them even stronger healers because they can use specialized tools for different areas, where you may be using deep tissue massage in the beginning, and you're switching to myofascial release during the middle, and at the end you're doing pressure point releases, which is you understanding the modalities that are at your draw, meaning the toolbox of what you learned. Okay?
Yeah.
So you're going to end up learning many modalities, but you got to start learning one to master one first, and then you get more and more. Personally, I have 14 certifications under my belt for healing. Okay, and there are more to learn. Absolutely. If I had time, I'd go and do them.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you recommend firstly doing like craniosacral and stuff, having sessions, and then
having sessions for cranial sacral as well as myofascial release. If you've never had acupuncture, have them go acupuncture done.
Okay.
So that you know what they are, so that as you're beginning to understand what it actually does for human beings, what experiences are like for you. And willing to talk to the practitioner what it's like doing this job.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
What other things have you thought about doing for a career?
I studied sociology and then international management, and I thought about, I don't know, I somehow ended working as a flight attendant. And yeah.
How did you end up getting a flight attendant job?
Because of the visa stuff. I'm originally not from here, so I wanted to stay permanently here. It meant like having like a proper job to get a visa, and yeah, that's
So where did you originally come from?
From Chile.
From Chile.
Yeah.
Okay. Big change in culture, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. What was the hardest thing for you to adjust to?
I guess the weather. We came first
snow.
to the snow and stuff. It was like the first time. At first, I was eating all the snow, and the people were saying, "No, don't eat the snow. You're gonna get like stomach ache and stuff." I guess it was the weather.
Okay, the weather. What about the culture itself?
It depends. I can't really say because I came here quite early to Europe when I was 12 years old, so I guess I'm
you already well adapted to it. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a long time. Yeah, that's actually from I don't know what to ask. Continue asking. Do you recommend any? Do you recommend for me to do anything like?
Go and take classes. That's
take
really
classes.
Go get the experience of what a session is like, and then go take a class.
Okay.
That's the important thing. Once you start the journey, you're going to begin to commit to it more and more and more. And once you're ready to commit to the next level, you're going to have to look at the standby process of your job and figure out, do I want to spend time investing in the rest of this, or am I ready to let go of this flight attendant job?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to continue to be able to go to school and practice and learn the practices with that type of job. Okay. You might be able to do some private study here and there and take some weekend classes. Like there's a lot of cranial sacral classes that are just 4 days long, Thursday to Sunday. and then you get a certification when you're done. Okay. And the hardest part of those is going to be learning the anatomy and physiology.
Yeah.
So yes, it's easy for you to study on standby, but when the call comes, you got to go. And what are you going to do if you've got a test the next day? Okay.
Yeah.
So then save up a little extra money and then look at some of the massage schools. A lot of massage schools will give you several different modalities to learn from and practice in while you're in them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. And
You're welcome.
one quick question about my love life, because it seems like I'm just choosing all the wrong people. I guess attracting the wrong people.
And what are the wrong people like?
I know they're not right for me, but I still stuck to them.
And there's a reason why. I said it earlier. Okay. You just weren't processing what I was saying. You're picking people that are not equal to you. You're picking people that are less than you. You're picking people that clearly have character flaws with them. And I was calling them fixer-uppers or project boyfriends. Instead of somebody that's got a job, is stable in their environment, is not a depressive fuck. Okay. Why do you pick the broken people?
Okay.
Answer that. Why do you pick them?
I don't know. Like, no, but I think like my ex-boyfriends were quite nice. I don't see them as broken people, but
Why did you break up with them then?
Because I wasn't ready. I don't think I felt the worth enough. I was like making up lies and stuff.
Okay. What did they do? What was their part in the relationship?
Yeah, no, I guess I'm like, I don't know how to answer that.
Okay. It's because they weren't right from you in the beginning. And you had to figure out how to get them out, extricate them out of your life. Because you picked the wrong one.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Andrew, thank you so much for your work. That's from
You're
my
welcome.
side.
My best advice for you is to just choose 3 months of celibacy. Okay. You don't need a boyfriend right now. You need drive and focus. And the less energy you're putting to always looking for a boyfriend and having the next sexual experience and just saying the next 3 months, I don't need to be with anyone. You're going to find it's very freeing for you.
Okay.
Very freeing for you. All right, Donald. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Goodbye.
Great. All right, Robert. Let's bring on Monty.
Okay, Monty.
Hey,
there you go.
Montosaurus Rex. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just just a man and his cat making his way through the universe.
A man and his cat making his way through the universe. What is your cat teaching you about the universe?
I think she worries about me. She's been very annoying for the last week. Because you know how she's got a quiet purr but a loud meow. But it's we're finding a balance.
Aw, what a love relationship you have with your cat.
Well, yeah, because that's why I have a cat. They sleep 18 hours a day. So
does your cat hide your TARDIS keys?
No, I just lose them naturally. Wait a minute.
I lost my TARDIS keys again. Damn it. Now I can't go back in time and figure out where I left them.
Well, or do I have to wait and catch up to them in the future?
That too. The conundrums we face.
Oh, yeah, that it's a great saying from humanity. It's always the last place you look. Well, hello, Mr. Logic.
Exactly. Hello, Mr. Logic.
It's like, I found my key. When did you find your keys? Well, I found them and then kept looking for another 3 minutes. No.
Exactly. And when you live alone, you can't blame anyone other than yourself and the cat.
Oh, yeah. Then you start going, well, clearly there's a ghost here.
Or you keep looking at the cat. It's not the ghost, it's the cat.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, what? So it's been an interesting week, a couple of weeks. I felt slightly lost and realized, well, no. So it's like, it's my no plan is finding a plan. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. On the
Yeah.
journey of the no plan, a plan arises.
Yeah, it's like sifting through all the other crap, and it's like, oh, look, a diamond. And like I even applied for a job yesterday, and hopefully I get it. It's just around the corner, and it's just a dish hand washing dishes at a cafe,
Cool.
part-time, and it will work perfectly because I can walk to it in 10 minutes. So
Always get yourself a bicycle too.
yeah, I've got one, but I thought of that actually. And there's thinking about it as well. I think that my belief engine's changing, and the narratives of finding balance in narratives, if that makes sense, as well as just like with my Planet Collingwood on Revolution Radio Studio A Wednesdays at 2 a.m. New York time. We're leaning towards into the comedy now, and we're doing that, same thing we do with our comedy show. It's the same premise where it's like we try and make people laugh, but we always end up in dark, disturbing places of like, then we go, wait a minute, we need to bring a joke back in. And so it's I'm getting good feedback from that, where people are enjoying, like, basically just following the model that we already have. And so I'm finally leaning into it, doing my weekly show. And it's interesting with the global narrative. I saw in the last 24 hours, apparently Emperor Biden has come out and said Russia will pay for their meddling in the 2020 election. And I'm like, really? Oh, actually, I've gone from really, Stan from South Park. Really? Now it's like, like, that's the level.
Did you hear what Putin's response to it was? Sure, Mr. Biden, whatever. It was basically a brushing off of whatever he was saying.
Yeah. Putin was like me. Good luck with that.
You're just a temper tantruming kid.
Yeah, and so I can see where some people say like, those in charge have reset the timeline and we're reliving years, and it's like not in the natural reality of creation. It's the narrative is doing it. The false narrative. Like season 4 seems to be rewritten of season 2 if we start of 2016.
Absolutely. That's why I said they skipped right to season 4. New characters, new actors, but yes, new old people will re-arise. Old storylines will make their way back through. The old villains.
Yeah, the writers are terrible. I watched a little bit of Trump at his CPAC speech, and I've just gone, oh crap, in a way, like, oh crap, we've gone back to 2016. Had the same energy of like, we'll vote for Trump, and the Trump stand and everything else like that. I'm like, and now with Biden's special, let's be fair, but the whole thing of Russia. I'm like, oh fuck. So it's
Biden is special, and he's going to be a part of a president's special ed class. And he will be riding the short Air Force One. The short bus Air Force One.
Yeah, it's like a little Cessna but painted blue.
Yep.
Apparently in his last press conference or whatever, he referred to Kamala Harris as president twice or something like that. And I remember you giving a prediction that we'll see the global narrative turning into a Three Stooges sketch. And then then we added
I said that in 2014.
Yeah,
that it was going to become a Three Stooges event.
Yeah, and I think 2 or 3 years later, I was like, that mated with a Monty Python sketch.
Yep, exactly, and they had bastard offspring.
Yeah,
and it's a little bit of Benny Hill thrown in there too.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh man, like the latest narrative they're pushing is that Asian Americans are now being targeted by the white supremacists.
Well, 6 of them just got killed. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. 6 Asian massage spa women got killed. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how many Asian spa women are listening to this show right now? Probably about 20.
Okay.
Why? Because they're wonderful business people. They know how to stay in business, and they're not rub and tuggers. They're real people doing
actual masseuse.
Work.
Yeah.
Right. Real healing work.
Yeah. Well, apparently the shooter who has the weirdest beard and he's going to have fun karmically, especially if he makes it to jail. He didn't. He said that he wasn't racially motivated. Now, I'm not taking away from, there was a mass shooting. Interesting as well. The Democrats get back in and the mass shootings start up again. But they'll twist anything. That's sort of the narrative, the thing.
Right.
Like,
I bet it was sexually motivated and not racially motivated.
It was. That's why he went to 3 different ones, and he did all that type of stuff. And it's you see a photo, and like, you can see there's sexual repression there. But in New York, California, Governor Newsom, they're doing a recall. Like, there's a mechanism where if you're not happy with your political leaders, you can try and trigger an election or something like that. And over 2 million people, which is a lot, has signed, do a recall of the governor, and the governor's
that's the third time they tried to recall him.
Yeah.
Third time.
Yeah. See, they think they really mean it if they're up to 3.
They're up to 3. They really mean it. Exactly.
And the governor's come out and said, "Oh, this is a right-wing conspiracy." And most people are like, "No, you suck." It's not. Everything's blamed on far right. It's that whole left-right paradigm.
Gavin Newsom is nothing more than a pawn. He doesn't get any free will choices in the way he governs that state. He's told how to run that state, and he is just a front man for a band, and he can be replaced like Sammy Hagar instantly. Okay.
Yes.
And somebody else will be singing the tune other than him.
Yeah, it's a bad Van Halen cover band.
Right. Exactly. So he has no free will, and has he been demonized? Absolutely. Is he a good governor? No, he is not. No, he is not.
Yeah. And then there's this whole thing of politicians, like in the last year. Happy anniversary for 14 days of flattening the curve. We're a year in. So I can see how you could sense the energies of, we're going to get to the end of 2023, and then the lockdowns
they won't be able to pitch it to us, and we won't accept it anymore.
Yeah.
And the anti-maskers will win.
Well, that's happening here in Victoria, where we have to wear masks on public transport and certain places, but there's people that just don't care anymore.
Right.
Especially where I think COVID's still in the country, technically. The only way that we can...
They're just not reporting it to you. They're not reporting it to you like they did before, because they realized that they marketed it wrong. They did it all wrong. Okay. And now they're back at their government headquarters going, we fucked this rollout out pretty damn good. What can we do to fix it when we're going to try to promote the next lockdown?
Well, it's interesting enough. The AstraZeneca I keep calling it a virus.
Jab.
It's a vaccine. It's a Freudian slip. it's a vaccine, not a virus. 17
but it's
countries.
A virus-based DNA vaccine.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, no, it's really a virus. Anyway, the Oxford jab. I think 17 or 19 countries have either paused it or banned it, and the Australian Medical Association's gone, no, it's fine, because apparently, people in
and the
Europe
EU,
have no
the
idea.
EU has said it's completely fine too, and now what they're realizing is they've all lost their credibility. The common people, it isn't about being an anti-vaxxer. It's about rolling a vaccine out in 8 months. That's what they don't believe.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the media is trying to push anyone like, would you take the COVID vaccine? Yeah, I'm not sure about it because of, science, history, and it's only 8 months old and usually takes a decade. The media goes, oh, you're an anti-vaxxer. No, I didn't say that. I'm suspicious of this vaccine. I'm up to date with everything else. And so they're trying to label people that just won't take it's that whole thing where even when you have the vaccine, you still have to social distance and wear a mask. So like, well, why?
As well as this vaccine is only giving you the antigens to the existing versions, not the mutated versions, which are crushing Italy and Spain again and started to become rampant all over the world again.
Yeah, a medical question: when a virus mutates and has different strains, is it weaker, stronger, or the same effectiveness?
It can be all of those. It all depends on the next person that enters and what kind of antigens and antibodies they're already creating.
Because someone said that, like, when there's variants, their strength gets weaker, and I'm like,
They can. This is what they call the burnout process, where
Yeah.
it will only be able to mutate a certain amount of times before it loses its original core of DNA value system, and it becomes ineffective and immediately can be destroyed by the body. Now, the
Yeah.
thing is, these mutant strains that are coming up are getting 10,000 to 100,000 times more stronger to survive in the body and on surfaces.
Now, is that part of the karmic timeline resolution
Mhm.
aspect of it? Yeah.
And once
'Cause,
again,
yeah,
they know
right about
absolutely.
now.
And once again, they know absolutely nothing about this virus. They are
Exactly.
still guessing.
Yeah, because I get to this point in the conversation with normal people, or the general public, better way of saying it, and there's that blank stare of like, okay, you've lost me. Karma, time travel, it's a virus. It's like, yes.
Yes.
Also, and I'm reinforcing the whole free will thing, where if people choose to, like the anti-maskers or the maskers, where they're militant and they're screaming, it's like, well, you're taking away free will.
Anything that militarizes or zealotizes one side or the other, the damage is doing more damage in the radicalizing than the actual product.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay?
Well,
Radicalization on both sides is worse than what the damage of the product is going to do.
yeah. What quick sidestep is the mayor of London. If you've been following him, he's special.
Bojo. Mm-hmm.
Well, no, he's the prime minister now. It's the new guy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
London's safe, and the same day that knifings have gone up 800% than last year. But anyway, he apparently wants to.
They're also getting ready to open the pubs. I believe the 1st of May, or the 1st of April, all the pubs will be able to open for outdoor versions. And then every month of the stores will be able to open, and pubs will be able to open. They're not turning around. And believe it or not, London never actually shut down completely. The airport has been open the entire time.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is the most fucked up part is they're saying it was shut down, but in reality it wasn't.
No, Paul Joseph Watson's been pointing out that the lockdown the English people while allowing people to come in by plane. It's like, do you understand what the word quarantine means?
Right. The thing is, the London banking system works off of physical signatures for transfers. So a lot of big business, you actually have to physical sign the transfer forms. They don't allow the digital transfer forms.
Mm-hmm. Is that part of the?
It's part of the corruption. It's part of the corruption system there. That's how they launder money.
Yeah. Okay? But the mayor apparently now is making misogynism illegal, and it's like, nothing can go wrong here. It's just apparently being a man is illegal and stuff. It's just this is the level of craziness that's sort of happening, and it's all swirling around, and it's from my experience is now to sort of find balance and let it go, and having comedy helps. So. While I do have you with an audience, can you tap into my Akashic record and see if my higher self left us a post-it note?
It did. It says, "Do not lose this note."
Right. Yeah. See, I have learnt my higher self is a comedian as well.
Yes, and attached to that post-it note of "Do not lose this note" is a symbol.
Yes. Since we're talking and I can't see it,
But your higher self goes, you should know this symbol.
Yeah, I've been trying to talk before I came on. It's like, I'll get Andrew to find out one word, and the higher self's gone, no, you won't.
It's a symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Think of a younger time in your life where symbols meant something to you.
Well, my brain just went like, the disabled symbol where it looks like a man stick a hula hoop up his bum.
Okay, now you're getting close. Now you're getting close, because every symbol that you've comedicized with that is inspiration.
So no, the brain's just giggling. It's like, that's a brilliant, because look, there's a guy sitting down and there's a big hula hoop out of his bum.
And right there is the "do not lose this note." Remember the symbols from your youth you made fun of all the time.
Yeah.
Example here, we have these image of deer jumping up with their two heads and little horns on it, and everyone goes and draws a little penis on the deer with paint.
There's one actually, I think it's in England. I've seen it in a meme form, but it's the symbol of a shower, but it looks like a Dalek.
Yes, I've seen that too. Or the fork and knife next to the person. What are you eating, the person? On some of these rest stop areas where like, wait, fork and knife next to the person, you're eating the person? Or there's an empty bed with a person standing with a fork and a knife.
Yeah, when you go to toilets, you've got the classic symbol of a man.
Yep.
And then you've got the other room where it's a classic symbol of a man wearing a kilt.
Yep, exactly. A man wearing a kilt.
So yeah, there's you have for men and Scottish men. Where's the ladies' toilets? Or as in Scotland they say ladies. So
the lasties.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jessies and non-Jessies. Yeah. So.
Yes. All right, Monty, I'm going to call it an end to the show today. I've been talking for 7 straight hours. I can't talk no more.
Yeah, fair enough.
Give way to people to get a hold of you.
I am on YouTube at Wafer Thin Entertainment, on Twitter, which is an interesting battleground. If you want to test your spirituality, pop on there and don't engage, but make fun of. On Facebook, Monty Dean. On Instagram, Monty.Dean. And I'm starting up an Odyssey channel, but I'm at the moment syncing my videos, so it could take up to a week. Mainly because YouTube decided to, with the US government, tax. If I'm any revenue I make in the United States, the government will take 24% of it. So I'm like, maybe I should start looking at another platform to put my videos on.
Those damn governments. All right, everybody, you know who I am. You go to my website, andrewbartzis.com, to figure out all of the things, as Robert has all of this information popping up onto the screen that is his background information.
And
right,
here's
Robert,
the curtain.
His spin up, blah, 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 blah. Take us away.
Just trying to send you to the breakout room, and I don't even have an open yet. All right, taking it away.
Okay.
Each different bubble of reality is true. A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma. Nudge, nudge, it's the Holy Grail. Improvise. Mysterious. It's counter psychic intelligence. Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important? Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality. Hello, let's create, let's co-create, and let's change this world with love. No matter if you're from Alpha Centauri or Earth, we all began with the same birthing process. We live in a limited point of view. Living the mystical life daily is about striving for the unlimited point of view. Each day, each human being gets an infinite amount of choices. Living the mystical life daily is about facing obstacles and challenges. The level of awareness that you are working at means you have a responsibility to be equal with it. How does one truly let go of expectation? You can make the moment that you wake up to the moment you go to sleep sacred. The keys to success: choice, 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 and choice.